A black waitress helps a Mafia boss's paralyzed son walk again, and it should have been a miracle. But when she stands up for them in public, the entire town turns against her. Windows are smashed. Death threats arrive. Her own mother collapses from the stress. Doctors said the young man would never move his legs again, but she refuses to give up. Day after day, she works with him in secret, defying everyone who tells her to stay away. And then, against all odds, he takes his first step. But there's something no one knows. The father's violent past isn't buried, it's hunting them, and the enemies he thought were gone are closing in, ready to destroy the one good thing he's ever protected, his son. As the young man learns to walk, his father must make an impossible choice. And the waitress who started it all? She's caught in the middle of a war she never asked for. Can kindness survive when the past demands blood? Will the son keep walking? Or will his father's sins steal everything they've fought for? I see them every morning, the father and son. They come to Marina's diner at 8 o'clock sharp. The father is older, maybe 60, with grey hair and hard eyes. The son is young, maybe 25, sitting in a wheelchair. His head tilts to one side. His hands rest on his lap. I watch from behind the counter as they park outside. The father gets out first. He moves to the passenger side and opens the door. His hands shake as he lifts his son from the seat. I notice the way he holds him, like something precious, like something fragile. The wheelchair comes next. He unfolds it with practiced movements, sets it beside the car. Then he lowers his son into it, careful and slow. The son's legs dangle. They don't move on their own. People notice them. Everyone does, but no one approaches. They look away when the father's eyes sweep the parking lot. I've worked here for 2 years. I've never seen anyone speak to them. Grace Miller felt curious about them. She always did. My manager, Tom, told me their story once. That's Vince Moretti, he said. Used to run things around here. Mafia stuff. Best to stay clear. I didn't ask more questions. Tom's voice was firm when he said it, but I couldn't help watching. The way the father wheeled his son up the ramp. The way the son's eyes stayed down. The way they sat in the corner booth, always the same one. The father ordered eggs and toast. The son got oatmeal. They never spoke much to each other. Today feels different. Something in the air. The father seems more tense. His jaw is tight. His shoulders are raised. I grab my notepad and walk to their table. I smile. I always smile. It's part of the job, but it's also who I am. Morning, I say. The usual? The father nods. He doesn't look at me. His eyes are on his son. The son glances up at me. His eyes are soft, brown and tired. Thank you, the son says. His voice is quiet. Grace's chest tightened. She saw loneliness in his face. I write down their order and head back to the kitchen. Through the window, I watch them. The father reaches across the table. He touches his son's hand, just for a moment. Then he pulls back. My mother always said I noticed too much. Grace, she'd say, you feel everyone's pain like it's your own. Maybe she's right. Maybe I do. The morning passes slowly. Regulars come and go. Mrs. Patterson orders her coffee black. Mr. Jenkins complains about the weather. I pour. I smile. I listen. Then I hear laughter outside. Not the good kind, the mean kind. I look through the window. A group of teenagers stands near the ramp. 3 boys and 2 girls. They're pointing at the father and son as they come out of the diner. The father wheels his son toward the car. The ramp wobbles under the chair's weight. One of the boys mimics the son's tilted head. The others laugh. One girl records it on her phone. Look at the cripple, one boy shouts. His voice carries through the glass. The son's face goes red. His father stops pushing. His hands grip the wheelchair handles. His knuckles turn white. Something shifted in Grace's chest, hot and fierce. I don't think. I just move. I push through the door. The bell jingles behind me. Hey, I call out. The teenagers turn. Their smiles fade when they see my face. What did you just say? I ask. My voice is loud, louder than I've ever heard it. The boy who spoke crosses his arms. We're just joking around. Joking? I step closer. You think making fun of someone is funny? His friends shift their feet. The girl lowers her phone. You don't know him, I say. You don't know what he's been through. You don't know anything. The boy's face hardens. Whatever. It's a free country. So is kindness, I say. Try it sometime. The silence stretched. No one speaks. The teenagers look at each other. Then they walk away, slowly, like they're trying to save face. I turn to the father and son. The father's eyes are on me, sharp and assessing. The son's eyes are wide, something like awe in them. Grace felt her hands trembling. She folded them together. I'm sorry, I say. No one should treat you like that. The father doesn't respond right away. He studies me. Then he nods once. Thank you. His voice is rough, like gravel. The son smiles. It's small, but it's real. They get into their car and drive away. I stand in the parking lot. My heart is still racing. My mother's voice echoes in my head. Stand up for what's right, Grace, even when it's hard. I did, Mama, I did. That evening I can't shake the image of the son's face, the way he looked at me, like I'd given him something he'd forgotten existed. Dignity, respect. I walk home from the diner at 6. The sun is setting. Orange and pink across the sky. My feet ache. My back aches, but my mind won't rest. My mother is sitting on the couch when I get home. She's watching a game show. Her oxygen tank hisses beside her. She's been sick for 3 years. Emphysema. The doctors said smoking did it. She quit 10 years ago, but the damage was done. How was work, baby? She asks. Her voice is thin. Eventful, I say. I tell her about the teenagers, about the father and son. She listens. Her eyes never leave my face. So you did good, she says when I finish. Real good. Grace's breath caught. Her mother's approval meant everything. I make dinner. Chicken and rice. Simple. We eat together on the couch. She tells me about her day, about the nurse who came by, about the sermon she watched on TV. Pastor Williams talked about kindness today, she says. Said it's the language everyone understands. I think about that, about the son's smile, about the father's nod. Maybe she's right. The next morning I'm nervous. I don't know why. Maybe because I confronted those kids. Maybe because I stuck my nose where it didn't belong. But at 8 o'clock, they arrive. Same as always. The father wheels his son up the ramp. They take their corner booth. I grab my notepad and approach. Morning, I say. My voice is steady. The father looks up. Morning? There's something different in his eyes. Less hard, more curious. I take their order, the usual. But before I turn away, the father speaks again. Yesterday, he says. What you did, that was brave. Grace felt warmth spread through her chest. It was the right thing, I say. Most people don't do the right thing, he says. Not for us. I meet his eyes. I'm not most people. The son smiles again, bigger this time. The father pulls out his wallet. He sets $300 bills on the table. For your trouble. I stare at the money, then at him. I can't take that, I say. Why not? Because you can't pay for kindness, I say. It's free. His eyes found mine. Something flickered there. He puts the money back, slowly, like he's not used to being told no. We talk for a few minutes. Small talk, but it feels significant. I learn the son's name, Anthony. The father is Vince. I tell them I'm Grace. That's a good name, Anthony says. His voice is soft. It suits you. I smile. Thank you. As I walk away, I feel their eyes on me. I wonder what they're thinking. I wonder if they'll come back tomorrow. They do. The third morning, something changes. Vince asks me about my mother. I don't know how he knows. Maybe Tom told him. Maybe he just guessed. She's sick, I say. But she's strong. Must be hard, Vince says. Taking care of her. It's what family does, I say. He nods, like he understands. Then I do something bold, something I've been thinking about since I first saw them. Anthony, I say, do you get physical therapy? Anthony's face falls. Not anymore. We tried after the accident, nothing worked. How long did you try, I ask. 6 months, Vince says. His voice is bitter. Doctors said there's no hope. Grace felt anger rise in her chest. She pushed it down. Doctors don't know everything, I say. I used to work as a physical therapy assistant before I had to quit to take care of my mom. Anthony's eyes widen. You did? Yeah, I say. And I've seen people recover from things doctors said were impossible. Vince leans back. His arms cross. What are you saying? I'm saying I could help, I say, if you want, after my shift. Just some basic exercises. See if we can get his muscles moving again. The silence hung between us. Heavy. Vince's jaw tightens. Why would you do that? Because everyone deserves a chance, I say. Anthony looks at his father. Hope fills his face. Vince sees it too. His expression softens. 1 session, Vince says. That's it. I nod. 1 session. That afternoon, I follow them home. My hands grip the steering wheel. I'm nervous. I've never been to a mobster's house before. I don't know what to expect. Their house is modest, a ranch-style home in a quiet neighborhood. The lawn is neat. The curtains are drawn. Vince opens the door. He leads me inside. The living room is clean but cold. No pictures on the walls. No warmth. Anthony is already in his wheelchair, waiting. Okay, I say. Let's start simple. I kneel beside him. I place my hands on his shin. I'm going to lift your leg. I want you to try to resist, even just a little. Can you do that? I'll try, Anthony says. I lift his leg. It's dead weight, but I feel a tremor. Tiny, almost nothing. Did you feel that? I ask. I don't know, Anthony says. His voice is uncertain. Try again, I say. We work for 30 minutes, lifting, pushing, stretching. Anthony's face is red. Sweat beads on his forehead, but he doesn't quit. Vince watches from the doorway. His arms are crossed. His face is unreadable. Anthony's breath caught. His leg trembled in my hands. There, I say. Did you feel it? Maybe, Anthony says. I'm not sure. That's okay, I say. We'll keep trying. When we finish, Anthony is exhausted, but there's something new in his eyes, something I haven't seen before. Hope. Vince walks me to the door. Thank you, he says. The words sound foreign in his mouth. Grace felt something warm in her chest. Pride. See you tomorrow, I say. The days turn into a week. I come every afternoon after my shift. We work on Anthony's legs, on his core strength, on his balance. He doesn't walk, not yet, but he's trying. That's what matters. We talk while we work. Anthony tells me about his life before the accident. He loved music, played piano, dreamed of composing. Do you still play? I ask. I can't, he says. My fingers don't work right anymore. They might again, I say, if we keep working. He smiles. You really believe that? I do, I say. Grace's voice was firm. She meant every word. We talk about other things too, about faith, about patience, about not giving up. I tell him about my mother, about how she never complained, even when the pain was bad, even when she couldn't breathe. She sounds amazing, Anthony says. She is, I say. Vince listens from the hallway. I catch him sometimes, just standing there, watching us. I don't think he knows how to join in, so he just observes. One evening I hear them laughing, really laughing. Anthony tells a joke, a bad one, but it's funny because it's so bad. Vince smiles. Not a big smile, but it's there. Grace felt peace settle over her. This house needed laughter, but not everyone is happy about what I'm doing. At the diner, people whisper. Tom pulls me aside one morning. Grace, he says, people are talking. About what? I ask. About you helping the Moretti kid, he says. Some folks think you're getting too close to dangerous people. Vince isn't dangerous anymore, I say. You don't know that, Tom says. His voice is sharp. He's killed people, Grace. He's ruined lives. Grace's chest tightened. She didn't want to believe it. That's his past, I say. People can change. Tom shakes his head. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. But the whispers don't stop. Customers stare. Some refuse to let me serve them. I hear the word killer more than once. I hear worse things too. Things about my skin, about why I'm really helping Vince. It hurts, but I don't stop. One night, I'm walking home. A car drives by. Someone shouts from the window, "Stay away from killers." The car speeds off. I stand on the sidewalk. My heart is racing, my hands are shaking, but I don't turn back. Vince notices the tension. He always notices. He offers me money again. Then, protection. I can have someone watch your house, he says. Make sure no one bothers you. No, I say. My voice is firm. Why not? He asks. His frustration is clear. Because violence doesn't fix cruelty, I say. It just makes more violence. Then what does fix it? He asks. Kindness, I say. Love, forgiveness. He stares at me. I don't know how to do those things. Grace's eyes found his. She saw the truth there. Then maybe it's time you learn, I say. The words hang in the air. Vince doesn't respond. He just turns and walks away. That night, I pray. I ask God to protect us, to guide us, to help Vince see that there's another way. 2 weeks after we started, something miraculous happens. I'm lifting Anthony's leg. We're doing the same exercise we've done 100 times, but this time, something is different. His leg twitches. Not in my hands, on its own. Did you do that? I ask. My voice shakes. I think so, Anthony says. His eyes are wide. Do it again, I say. He concentrates. His face scrunches up. And then, there, a tiny movement. His toes flex. Grace's breath caught. Joy flooded through her. You did it, I shout. I clap my hands. You actually did it. Vince rushes in from the hallway. What happened? He moved his leg, I say. On his own. Vince stares at his son. Anthony is beaming. Tears stream down his face. Happy tears. Vince kneels beside the wheelchair. He grabs Anthony's hands. Do it again, son. Show me. Anthony tries. The movement is small, but it's there. Something shifted in Vince's expression. Raw emotion. I knew it, I whisper. I knew you could do it. That night, as I drive home, I can't stop smiling. My mother sees my face when I walk in. What happened? She asks. I tell her everything. She cries. We both do. God is good, she says. Yes, he is, I say. Before I sleep, I think about Vince, about the way he looked at Anthony, about the pride in his eyes. Maybe angels do wear aprons. Maybe they also carry notepads and serve coffee. Maybe they're just regular people who choose to care. The next morning, I arrive at the diner early. There's a newspaper on the counter. The front page has a headline, Former Mob Boss Vince Moretti. Where is he now? Below it is a photo, old, from his criminal days. Beside it is another photo, recent, of me walking into his house. The article details his past, the crimes, the violence, the people who died because of him, and then it mentions me. Local waitress Grace Miller seen visiting Moretti's home daily. Grace felt her stomach drop. Dread washed over her. Tom walks in. He sees the paper. He sees my face. Grace, he says. His voice is heavy. We need to talk. I know what's coming. I can see it in his eyes. Everything is about to change. Tom's office is small, a desk, 2 chairs, a filing cabinet. He closes the door behind us. The click sounds final. I can't have this, he says. He taps the newspaper. Customers are already complaining. Grace felt her throat tighten. She knew this was coming. Tom, I'm not doing anything wrong, I say. I'm helping someone who needs help. I know that, he says. His voice is tired. But people are scared. They see that name, Moretti. They remember what he did. That was years ago, I say. Doesn't matter, Tom says. Fear has a long memory. I look at my hands. They're folded in my lap. I think about Anthony's face yesterday, the joy when his leg moved, the hope. I'm not going to stop, I say quietly. Tom sighs. I'm not asking you to, but I need you to understand. This could hurt the business. If it gets worse, I might have to let you go. My stomach drops. I need this job. My mother's medical bills don't pay themselves. Our rent doesn't pay itself. But I can't abandon Anthony. Not now. Not when he's finally making progress. I understand, I say. He nods. I'm sorry, Grace. I really am. I leave his office. The morning shift starts. I pour coffee. I take orders. But I feel the eyes on me, the whispers. Mrs. Patterson doesn't smile at me today. Mr. Jenkins asks for a different server. Grace's chest tightened. Rejection hurt more than she expected. That afternoon, I drive to the Moretti house. My hands shake on the wheel. I don't tell Vince about Tom's warning. I don't tell Anthony either. We work on his exercises. He's getting stronger. I can feel it. His leg moves more each day. Small movements, but real ones. Grace, Anthony says, are people giving you trouble? I pause. What makes you ask that? My dad saw the newspaper, he says. He's been quiet all morning, quieter than usual. I sit back on my heels. Some people don't understand, that's all. I'm sorry, Anthony says. His voice is soft. This is my fault. No, I say firmly. This is not your fault. None of this is your fault. His eyes found mine. Guilt shadowed them. People are afraid, I say. But fear passes. Progress doesn't. He nods, but I can see he doesn't fully believe me. Vince appears in the doorway. Can I talk to you? He asks me. We step into the kitchen. He crosses his arms. His face is hard. This needs to stop, he says. What needs to stop? I ask. You coming here, he says. Helping Anthony. It's putting you in danger. I'm fine, I say. You won't be, he says. His voice is harsh. When people start connecting you to me, bad things happen. Grace felt fear creep in, but also determination. I'm not stopping, I say. Why? He asks. Frustration fills his voice. Why would you risk everything for us? Because it's right, I say. Because Anthony deserves a chance. Because you both do. He stares at me. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know the things I've done. I know what you're doing now, I say. I know you're trying to be better. That's what matters. The silence stretched, heavy and thick. I can't protect you from everything, Vince says finally. His voice is quieter. I'm not asking you to, I say. I'm asking you to let me help your son. He looks away. One day this will blow back on you, and I won't be able to fix it. Then I'll handle it, I say. He doesn't respond, just walks away. The next few days are harder. At church on Sunday, people avoid me. Sister Patricia, who usually hugs me, gives me a tight smile and moves on. Brother James shakes his head when he sees me. My mother notices. People are being ugly, she says. They're scared, I say. Fear makes people cruel, she says. But you keep doing what's right, baby, God sees. Grace's breath caught. Her mother's faith never wavered. At the diner, business drops. Regulars stop coming. Tom watches the empty tables. His face grows more worried each day. I want to quit, to make it easier for everyone. But then I think about Anthony, about his progress, about the hope in his eyes. I can't quit. One evening, I find a note on my car. Just 3 words. Watch your back. I crumple it up, throw it in the trash, keep walking. Anthony's progress continues. After 3 weeks, he can stand. Not for long, just a few seconds. But he can do it. I hold his hands. He grips mine hard. His legs shake under his weight. Sweat covers his forehead. 5 seconds, I count. 6, 7. He collapses back into the wheelchair. But he's laughing, breathing hard, happy. Vince stands in the corner. He's holding his phone, taking pictures. His face shows pride, pure and simple. That's my boy, he says. His voice is thick. Something shifted in the room. Joy replaced fear. That night, Vince shows me the photos. Anthony standing, smiling, alive. Thank you, Vince says, for giving him this. He did it himself, I say. I just helped. No, Vince says. You gave him hope. That's bigger than physical therapy. Grace felt warmth spread through her. His gratitude was genuine, but the backlash grows. The local news runs a segment. The anchor's voice is dramatic. Mafia's angel, black waitress or criminal ally. They show old footage of Vince, mugshots, crime scenes. Then they show footage of me, walking into his house, smiling at Anthony. The narrative is clear. They're painting me as naive or worse, as complicit. Half the town believes I'm a saint. The other half thinks I'm a fool. Some think I'm worse than that. The comments online are vicious. I don't read them all, but I see enough. My mother watches the segment with me. She shakes her head. They don't know your heart, she says. I know, I say. But you keep going, she says. You hear me? You keep going. I will, Mama, I say. That night, someone throws a rock through our living room window. Glass shatters across the floor. A note is tied to the rock. Stop helping criminals. My mother's hands tremble as she sweeps up the glass. I call the police. They take a report. But they don't sound hopeful about catching anyone. Grace felt anger rise in her chest, hot and fierce. Vince calls me the next morning. I heard what happened, he says. Let me fix this. No, I say. No violence. Grace, no, I repeat. My voice is firm. Violence only proves them right. It makes Anthony ashamed of his progress. The silence hung between us. I hear his breathing, heavy, frustrated. I don't know how else to protect you, he says finally. You can't, I say. Not the way you want to, but you can keep being a better man. That's the real protection. He hangs up without responding. A few days later, something unexpected happens. One of the teenagers from that first day comes into the diner, the one who mocked Anthony, Logan. He sits at the counter. His head is down. He looks miserable. I approach slowly. Can I help you? He looks up. His eyes are red. I need to talk to you. Grace's stomach tightened. She braced herself. I'm sorry, he says. The words tumble out. For what I did, for laughing at him, it was cruel. I've been thinking about it every day. I study his face. He looks genuine, young and scared and sorry. Why now? I ask. I saw the news segment, he says, about how you're helping him, about how he's getting better, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. His voice was shaky. Tears threatened to fall. I want to help, he says. If I can, if you'll let me. I don't know what to say. Part of me wants to turn him away, to protect Anthony from more hurt, but part of me remembers Grace, remembers second chances. Let me talk to them first, I say. If they're okay with it, you can come. Thank you, he says. Relief floods his face. I tell Vince and Anthony about Logan. Vince is suspicious. Why would he want to help? Because people can change, I say. Just like you're changing. Vince's jaw tightens, but he doesn't argue. Anthony is quieter. What if he's just mocking me again? Then I'll throw him out myself, I say. But I think he's sincere. Anthony considers this. Okay, but just once. To see. Logan comes the next day. He's nervous. His hands shake. Anthony watches him carefully. I'm sorry, Logan says again. I was a jerk. You didn't deserve that. Anthony nods slowly. Okay. They talk, awkwardly at first, then easier. Logan asks about the exercises, about the progress. He seems genuinely interested. When we do the session, Logan helps. He supports Anthony's other side. Together, we help Anthony stand for 12 seconds. A new record. Grace's breath caught. Redemption was happening before her eyes. When Logan leaves, Anthony is smiling. Maybe people can change, he says. They can, I say, when they want to. The next week, something happens that changes everything. A customer at the diner films Anthony during one of our sessions. I don't notice at first. We're focused on the work. Anthony stands. Without holding on to anything for 3 full seconds, he wobbles, then falls back into the wheelchair. But he did it. I hug him. Tears stream down my face. You did it. You stood alone. The video captures everything. The struggle, the triumph, the tears, the embrace. Someone posted online. By that evening, it's everywhere. Waitress helps Mafia boss's son walk again. The video goes viral. Millions of views, thousands of shares. Comments pour in from around the world. Most are positive. People call me inspiring. They call Anthony brave. They send prayers and encouragement. But some are angry. They say I'm glorifying a criminal, that I'm betraying justice, that I'm naive. Grace felt overwhelmed. The attention was too much. Donations start coming in. To the diner, to a fund someone set up for Anthony's therapy. Strangers send money from across the country, across the world. Tom calls me into his office. Business is booming, he says. He looks stunned. People want to meet you to see where the video was filmed. That wasn't the point, I say. I know, he says, but it's happening anyway. The diner fills up again, but now with different people, reporters, tourists, people with cameras. I hate it. I just want to help Anthony. I don't want fame. I don't want attention, but it's too late. The story is bigger than us now. That night, somewhere across town, a man watches the video. His name is Salvatore De Luca. He's older now, grey hair, scarred hands. But his eyes are hard. He knows Vince. They have history, bad history. He watches Anthony stand, watches me hug him, watches Vince appear in the frame, pride on his face. So he's found peace, Salvatore says. His voice is cold. We'll see about that. He makes a phone call, gives orders, sets things in motion. Revenge, he thinks, is a dish best served cold. And he's been waiting a long time. I don't know about Salvatore yet, but Vince does. He sees the shadows before I do. He hires someone to watch my house, to follow me. I don't notice at first, but then I see the same car 3 days in a row, parked across the street, different times, same car. Vince, I say, is someone following me? His eyes find mine. Guilt flashes there. Just a precaution, he says. Against what? I ask. Against people from my past, he says. People who might want to hurt me by hurting you. Grace felt fear settle in her bones. Real fear. You said you were done with that life, I say. I am, he says, but that life isn't done with me. I want to be angry, but I see his face, the worry, the helplessness. He's trying to protect us the only way he knows how. I don't want violence, I say. Neither do I, he says, but I won't let anything happen to you or my son. The silence stretched. I don't know what to say. 2 days later, it happens. I arrive at the diner early. The sun isn't up yet. I park in my usual spot. Something is wrong. I feel it before I see it. The windows are smashed. Glass covers the sidewalk. Red paint drips down the walls. Words scrawled in angry letters. Killer lover. Traitor. Go home. My legs nearly give out. Tom arrives minutes later. He sees the damage. His face goes pale. Grace, he says. His voice shakes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We call the police. They come. They take pictures. They ask questions. But I can see it in their eyes. They don't think they'll catch anyone. Grace's chest tightened. Hate was louder than love. I call my mother. Tell her I'll be home late. She hears something in my voice. What happened? She asks. I tell her. She's quiet for a moment. Then, you're not giving up, are you? No, Mama, I say. Good, she says, because this is when it matters most. But that night, everything gets worse. I come home to find an ambulance outside our house. Neighbors stand on their porches, watching, whispering. My mother is on a stretcher. Her face is grey. An oxygen mask covers her mouth. Mama, I run to her. The paramedic stops me. She collapsed. Chest pains. We need to get her to the hospital. Grace felt her world tilting. Not her mother. Please, not her mother. I ride in the ambulance, hold her hand. She squeezes weakly. Her eyes are closed. At the hospital, they rush her away. I sit in the waiting room, alone, scared. I pray, harder than I've ever prayed. Please, God, please. She's all I have. Hours pass. A doctor finally comes out. She's stable, he says. It was stress-induced. Her heart is weak. She needs rest. No more stress. Can I see her? I ask. Yes, he says, but keep it brief. I go to her room. She looks small in the hospital bed, fragile. Machines beep around her. Hi, baby, she whispers. Her voice is weak. Mama, I say. Tears stream down my face. I'm so sorry. Not your fault, she says. It is, I say. All this stress, the broken window, the vandalism, it's because of me. No, she says. Her voice is firmer. It's because of hate, and hate is never the victim's fault. Her eyes found mine. Love filled them. You keep going, she says. You hear me? You keep helping that boy. But look what it's doing to you, I say. I'm old, she says. I've lived my life, but that boy is young. He needs you. I need you too, I say. And I'm here, she says. But I won't be forever, so you make sure my time counts. Make sure I see you do good in this world. Grace's breath caught. Her mother's faith humbled her. I stay with her until she falls asleep. Then I drive home. It's past midnight. I'm exhausted, emotionally drained. I call Vince, tell him what happened. He's silent for a long time. I'm ending this, he says finally. His voice is cold. What do you mean? I ask. I'm going to find whoever did this, he says, and I'm going to make sure they never do it again. Vince, no, I can't lose another family because of my past, he shouts. I won't. The line goes dead. I don't sleep that night. I pace my empty house. Glass from the broken window still sparkles on the floor. I try calling Vince back. He doesn't answer. Fear consumes me, not for myself, for him, for Anthony, for what might happen if Vince goes back to his old ways. At dawn, I drive to his house. I pound on the door. No answer. I pound again. Finally, Vince opens it. His knuckles are bruised, blood on his shirt. His eyes are wild. What did you do? I ask. My voice shakes. What I had to, he says. No, I say. I push past him into the house. Anthony is in the living room. His face is tear-streaked. Dad almost killed someone, Anthony says. His voice is hollow. One of DeLuca's men. He found him, beat him, almost didn't stop. Grace felt horror wash over her. Everything was falling apart. I turned to Vince. Is this who you want to be? Is this what you want Anthony to see? I was protecting us, Vince says. You were protecting your pride, I say. There's a difference. He flinches, like I slapped him. Grace is right, Anthony says quietly. This isn't you anymore, Dad. Or at least it shouldn't be. Something shifted in Vince's face. The wildness fades. Shame replaces it. I don't know how to do this, Vince says. His voice breaks. I don't know how to be good. You learn, I say. One choice at a time, just like Anthony learned to move his leg. One small movement at a time. Vince sinks into a chair. He puts his head in his hands. I'm sorry, he says. I'm so sorry. Anthony wheels over to him, puts a hand on his father's shoulder. Then let's try again, he says. Together. Grace's eyes found Vince's. She saw a broken man trying to rebuild. Tomorrow, I say. We start fresh. All of us. The next morning, I visit my mother in the hospital. She's better. Color has returned to her face. The doctors say she can go home in a few days. How's the boy? She asks. Stronger, I say. Every day. And the father? Learning, I say. She smiles. Good. That's real good. I go back to the diner. Tom has cleaned up the vandalism, covered the broken windows with boards. He's hired extra security. We're going to make it, he says. People are coming back. The good people. I'm glad, I say. That afternoon I go to the Moretti house. Vince is there. So is Anthony. And Logan, the teenager. He's been coming regularly now. Ready to try something big? I ask Anthony. Like what? He asks. Like walking, I say. More than one step. Let's try 5. Anthony's face shows fear and hope. We set up supports on either side. Logan on one side, me on the other. Vince stands in front with a walker. I'm scared, Anthony says. Me too, I say. But we're doing it anyway. He stands. His legs shake. He grips our arms. Hard. First step, I say. He moves his right foot forward, 6 inches, then his left, then his right again. Grace's breath caught. He was doing it. He was really doing it. 3 steps, Logan counts. 4. Anthony's face is red. Sweat drips down his temples. His legs threaten to give out. 1 more, I say, just 1 more. He takes the 5th step, then collapses forward. Vince catches him, lowers him into the wheelchair. We're all crying, all of us, even Vince, even Logan. 5 steps, Anthony says. He's laughing and crying at the same time. I walked 5 steps. You did, I say. You really did. Vince kneels beside the wheelchair. He hugs his son, really hugs him. I'm proud of you, he says. His voice breaks. So proud. Something shifted in the room. Love replaced everything else. That night, as I drive home, I think about the journey, about how far we've come, about how much farther we have to go. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Just 3 words. This isn't over. Grace felt cold dread settle in her stomach. I delete the text, but I know the truth. Salvatore De Luca is still out there, still watching, still waiting. The storm isn't over yet. The video spreads faster this time. Anthony's 5 steps, our tears, the joy on everyone's faces. News stations pick it up. Reporters call my phone. They want interviews. They want the story behind the story. I ignore most of them, but the attention brings something else. More donations, more support, more people wanting to help. It also brings more danger. Vince gets a call 2 days later. I'm at the house when it happens. He steps outside to answer. When he comes back in, his face is grey. What's wrong? I ask. De Luca, he says. He's coming for me. Grace felt her stomach drop. She'd been dreading this. Anthony wheels closer. What does that mean? It means I made a choice a long time ago, Vince says. His voice is heavy. And now I have to pay for it. What choice? Anthony asks. Vince sits down. He looks at his son, then at me. I testified against Salvatore De Luca 20 years ago. Sent him to prison. He's been out for 5 years, and he wants revenge. The silence hung in the room, heavy and terrible. So what do we do? I ask. I do what I should have done a long time ago, Vince says. I turn myself in. What? Anthony's voice cracks. No, Dad, no. There's evidence against me, Vince says. Old crimes, things I thought were buried. If I cooperate with the FBI, they can protect you both. But you'll go to prison, Anthony says. Yes, Vince says simply. Grace's chest tightened. This was the only way. She knew it. When? I ask. Tomorrow morning, Vince says. I've already made the call. Anthony starts crying. Hard, broken sobs. Vince moves to him, kneels beside the wheelchair, holds his son. I'm sorry, Vince says, for everything, for the life I lived, for the danger I brought to you. I don't care about that, Anthony says. I just don't want to lose you. You won't, Vince says. I'll always be your father. Nothing changes that. But everything changes. We all know it. That night, Vince asks to speak with me alone. We sit in the kitchen. The house is quiet. Anthony is asleep. Thank you, Vince says, for everything you've done for him, for us. You don't have to thank me, I say. Yes, I do, he says. His voice is firm. You taught me something I didn't think was real. What's that? I ask. That kindness is stronger than fear, he says. That love can change people. His eyes found mine. Gratitude filled them. You taught me how to be a father, he says. Not a boss, not a criminal, a father. Grace's breath caught. His words meant everything. You were always a father, I say. You just forgot for a while. He smiles. It's sad, but genuine. Take care of him, please. When I'm gone, I will, I say. I promise. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out a folded piece of paper. This is a letter for Anthony. Give it to him when he's ready. I take the letter, hold it carefully. Walk for both of us, Vince says. Tell him that. Tell him to keep walking. I will, I say. We sit in silence for a while, 2 people who shouldn't have become friends, but did anyway. Morning comes too soon. Vince kisses Anthony's forehead while he's still sleeping. Then he leaves. Just like that. No big goodbye. No drama. I arrive at the house an hour later. Anthony is awake, confused, scared. Where's my dad? He asks. I tell him. Everything. About the FBI, about the deal, about the sacrifice. Anthony doesn't cry at first. He just sits there, staring at nothing. Then he breaks. Completely. I hold him while he sobs. His whole body shakes. The grief is overwhelming. He's gone, Anthony says. He's really gone. But you're still here, I say gently. And he did this so you could keep living. Keep walking. I don't want to walk without him, Anthony says. You have to, I say, because he's counting on you. Grace felt her own tears fall. This hurt more than anything. I give Anthony the letter. He reads it with shaking hands. When he finishes, he folds it carefully, holds it to his chest. He says I have to keep going, Anthony says, that I have to walk for both of us. Then that's what we'll do, I say. The next 2 weeks are the hardest. Anthony is depressed. He doesn't want to do the exercises, doesn't want to try walking. He just sits in his wheelchair, staring at nothing. I don't push too hard. Grief needs time, but I don't let him quit completely. 5 minutes, I say each day. Just give me 5 minutes. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he refuses. Logan still comes. He's become a real friend to Anthony. They play video games together, talk about music, about life. He'll come back, Logan says to me one afternoon. He's just processing. I hope so, I say. My mother comes home from the hospital. She's weaker now, needs more help, but her spirit is strong. How's the boy? She asks. Lost, I say. Then you help him find his way, she says. That's what you do. Grace's voice was quiet. She felt tired, so tired. But I keep trying. Every day, 5 minutes, then 10, then 15. Slowly, Anthony starts responding. He does the exercises. Half-heartedly at first, then with more effort. One day he speaks. I want to try walking again. Relief floods through me. Okay, let's do it. We work for an hour. He manages 7 steps, then 10. His legs are stronger now, more stable. My dad would be proud, Anthony says. He is proud, I say. Wherever he is, he's proud. Something shifted in Anthony's expression. Determination replaced grief. That night, an idea comes to me. I call Logan, then Tom at the diner, then Sister Patricia at church. I want to organize an event, I say, a charity walkathon, to rebuild the diner, to help other people like Anthony. Everyone agrees immediately. The planning begins. We call it Walk for Kindness. The whole town is invited. All proceeds go to therapy programs for disabled youth and to repairing the diner. Word spreads quickly. The viral video helped. People know our story. They want to be part of it. Anthony is hesitant at first. I don't know if I can walk in front of everyone. You don't have to, I say. But if you do, imagine what it would mean to other people like you. He thinks about it. Okay, I'll try. Grace felt hope bloom in her chest. This could work. 2 weeks before the event, something happens. I get a phone call from a facility 2 hours away. This is Agent Morrison, a man's voice says. I'm calling about Vince Moretti. My heart races. Is he okay? He's fine, the agent says. He asked me to call you. He wanted you to know he's cooperating fully. And he wanted me to tell Anthony something. What? I ask. That he's proud of him, the agent says, and to walk for both of them. Grace's breath caught. Even in custody, Vince was thinking of his son. Can I visit him? I ask. Not yet, the agent says, but soon. I'll let you know when. I tell Anthony about the call. His face lights up. He's okay. He's okay, I say, and he's thinking about you. That night, Anthony practices walking more than ever. 15 steps, then 20. He's determined now, focused. I'm going to do this, he says, for him. You're going to do this for you too, I say. That's what he'd want. The day of the walkathon arrives. The sun is bright, the sky is clear. People gather in the town square, hundreds of them. They wear shirts we made, white with blue letters. Love walks stronger than hate. Tom set up a stage. There's music, food, laughter. The atmosphere is joyful, healing. I see faces I recognize. Mrs. Patterson, Mr. Jenkins, Sister Patricia, and faces I don't recognize. People from other towns, other states. They came to support us. Grace felt overwhelmed. This was bigger than she imagined. I take the stage. The microphone feels heavy in my hand. I look at the crowd. So many people. Thank you for coming, I say. My voice shakes. This event is about more than walking. It's about choosing love over hate, kindness over cruelty. The crowd cheers. I see tears on some faces. We've all been through hard times, I say. We've all faced darkness, but we don't have to stay there. We can choose to walk toward the light. More cheers, more tears. Today, you're going to see something special, I say. You're going to see what faith and determination can do. You're going to see a young man who refused to give up. I gesture to the side of the stage. Anthony appears. Logan pushes his wheelchair. Anthony is wearing leg braces. His face is pale but determined. The crowd erupts. Applause. Cheers. Some people are already crying. Anthony reaches the microphone. I help him stand. He grips the walker in front of him. His legs shake. "Hi," he says. His voice is quiet. "My name is Anthony." The crowd quiets. Everyone listens. "A year ago, I couldn't move," Anthony says. "I couldn't walk. I thought my life was over." His voice was steady, brave. "But then someone showed me kindness," he says. "She didn't have to. She had every reason not to. But she did anyway." He looks at me, smiles. "She taught me that giving up is easy," he says, "but fighting is worth it. And today I'm going to fight." The crowd cheers again, louder this time. The walk begins, a route through town, 1 mile, not far. But for Anthony, it's everything. He starts at the back, Logan on one side, me on the other. The crowd walks ahead of us, slowly, giving him space. Anthony takes his first step, then his second. The braces help, but he's doing most of the work. "You okay?" I ask. "Yeah," he says. Sweat already beads on his forehead. "Keep going." We walk, slowly, 1 step at a time. People around us cheer. They call his name. They wave signs. "You can do it, Anthony. We believe in you." Grace's chest tightened. This was community at its best. Halfway through, Anthony stumbles. Logan catches him. "Need a break?" "No," Anthony says. His voice is firm. "I can finish." We keep walking. His steps become more confident, stronger. He's finding his rhythm. 3/4 through, I see something. A man standing at the edge of the crowd, older, grey hair, FBI agents beside him. Vince. Grace's breath caught. He came. He actually came. Anthony sees him too. His face breaks into a smile. Tears stream down his cheeks. But he keeps walking. Vince doesn't call out, doesn't wave. He just watches. Pride clear on his face. Anthony walks faster, determined to reach the finish line, to show his father what he can do. The crowd parts. The finish line is ahead, a ribbon stretched across the street, cameras everywhere. "This is it," I say. "The final stretch." Anthony lets go of Logan's arm, then mine. He grips the walker alone. Something shifted in his posture. Confidence replaced fear. He takes 1 step, then another, alone, unassisted except for the walker. The crowd holds its breath. Cameras flash. Everyone watches. Anthony reaches the ribbon. His legs are shaking. His face is drenched in sweat, but he's smiling. He takes 1 final step, breaks through the ribbon, then collapses into his wheelchair. The crowd explodes. Cheers, applause, crying, everywhere. I hug Anthony. We're both sobbing. Logan joins us, then Sister Patricia, then Tom. Everyone piles in. "You did it," I whisper. "You really did it." "We did it," Anthony says. "All of us." Grace felt joy overflow. This was what miracles looked like. I look back at where Vince was standing. He's gone. The agents must have taken him away. But I know he saw. I know he knows. His son walked. His son is going to be okay. That evening, after the celebration, I drive to the facility where Vince is held. Agent Morrison approved a short visit. I sit behind glass, pick up the phone. Vince appears on the other side. He looks older, tired but peaceful. "You came," he says. "Of course I came," I say. "Did he really do it?" Vince asks. "Walk the whole mile?" "He did," I say. "On his own." At the end, Vince closes his eyes. Tears slip down his cheeks. "Thank God." His voice was broken, grateful. "He did it for you," I say. "To make you proud." "I've always been proud," Vince says. "I just never knew how to show it." We sit in silence for a moment, just looking at each other through the glass. "What happens now?" I ask. "I cooperate," Vince says. "I testify. I serve my time. Maybe 10 years, maybe less if I'm lucky." "And DeLuca?" I ask. "They got him," Vince says. "Used my testimony to arrest him yesterday. He's going away for a long time." Grace felt relief wash over her. It was finally over. "Anthony is going to need you," Vince says. "When I'm locked up, when things get hard, promise me you'll be there." "I promise," I say. "Always." "Thank you," Vince says, "for saving my son, for saving me." "You saved yourself," I say. "You chose to change, because you showed me how," he says. Something shifted in his expression. Peace replaced regret. "I can rest now," Vince says. "Knowing he's going to be okay, knowing he's got you." "He does," I say, "and so do you." 3 months pass. Life settles into a new rhythm. The diner thrives. Better than ever. Donations covered all the repairs and more. I used the extra money to start something new. The Moretti Hope Foundation, a non-profit that provides free physical therapy for disabled youth who can't afford it. Anthony is the face of it. He speaks at schools, at hospitals, at community centers, tells his story, inspires others. He walks without braces now, still uses a cane sometimes, but he's independent, strong, happy. Logan volunteers with us. He brings other teens. They help with events, with fundraising, the next generation choosing kindness. My mother is proud. She's healthier now too, less stress, more joy. She volunteers at the diner, greeting people, sharing her wisdom. Grace felt content. This was purpose. This was meaning. Every week, I visit Vince. We talk through the glass about Anthony, about the foundation, about life. He tells me stories about his past, about the mistakes he made, about the people he hurt. He's working through it, processing, healing. My cellmates listen to me now, he says one day. When I talk about kindness, about change, they actually listen. You're teaching them, I say. I'm trying, he says. It's the least I can do. He starts writing letters, long ones, about redemption, about second chances, about choosing love over fear. I read them at the diner, out loud, to customers, to volunteers, to anyone who'll listen. His words are powerful, raw, honest. People cry when they hear them. They're moved. Grace's eyes found the page. Wisdom lived there. One letter says, I spent my whole life building walls. I thought they made me strong, but they just made me alone. Grace taught me that breaking down walls takes real courage, that letting people in is the bravest thing you can do. Another says, my son taught me that healing isn't fast, it's not dramatic, it's small movements, tiny progress, daily choices. That's what redemption looks like, one step at a time. I frame these letters, hang them on the diner walls. They become part of our story, part of the Foundation's mission. 6 months after the walkathon, Anthony gets accepted to music school, a full scholarship. He's going to study composition, to follow his dream. He's nervous, excited, scared, all at once. What if I can't do it, he asks me. You walked a mile after doctors said you'd never walk again, I say. You can do anything, he smiles. You always know what to say. That's because I believe in you, I say, just like your dad does. I wish he could be here, Anthony says. His voice is sad. He is here, I say. In everything you do, every choice you make, he's there. Something shifted in Anthony's face. Understanding replaced sadness. I'm going to make him proud, Anthony says. For you already have, I say. The day Anthony leaves for school, half the town comes to see him off. There's a party at the diner. Cake, music, laughter. Anthony walks through the crowd. No cane, no braces, just his own 2 legs, strong and steady. People hug him, wish him luck, tell him they're proud. Logan is there. You're my hero, man, he says. Anthony hugs him. You helped save me. Don't forget that. My mother sits in the corner, watching, smiling. She looks at me. You done good, baby. Grace felt tears threaten, happy tears. Anthony comes to me last. I don't know how to thank you, he says. You don't have to, I say. Just keep walking, keep inspiring. That's enough. I will, he says. I promise. He hugs me, tight, like I'm family, because I am. One sunny morning, months later, I hang a new frame by the diner door. It's Vince's latest letter, the one that means the most. It reads, I used to think power meant control. That strength meant never showing weakness. I was wrong. Real power is kindness. Real strength is admitting when you need help. Grace showed me that. Anthony proved it. And now I'm passing it on. To anyone who'll listen, redemption is possible. Change is real. Love wins. Always. Anthony arrives just as I finish hanging it. He walks in confidently, stands beside me, reads the letter. He's right, Anthony says. Love does win. It does, I say. The diner is full. People laughing, eating, living. The darkness is gone. Only light remains. Outside, the sign Tom installed months ago still hangs. Kindness can heal what power never could. I look at Anthony, at my mother, at the community we've built, at the lives we've changed. Grace felt peace settle in her bones, deep and true. This is what matters. Not fame, not attention, not revenge. Just people helping people. Love beating hate. Hope replacing despair. I think about Vince, in his cell, writing letters, teaching inmates, becoming better. I think about Anthony, at school, making music, following dreams. I think about Logan, and Sister Patricia, and Tom, And everyone who chose kindness when hate would have been easier. We did something impossible. We took brokenness and made it beautiful. We took pain and turned it into purpose. You okay? Anthony asks me. I smile. Look at him. This young man who couldn't walk, who can now run. Yeah, I say. I'm perfect. He smiles back. So what's next? More of this, I say. More helping, more healing, more hope. Sounds good to me, Anthony says. We stand together, looking at the framed letter, at Vince's words, at the truth we've learned. Kindness really can heal what power never could. We're living proof. Grace whispered a prayer. Thank you for all of it. The diner door opens. More people come in. The day continues. Life goes on. Better now. Brighter. I look at the horizon through the window. The sun is rising. A new day. A new beginning. We did it, Vince, I whisper. We really did it. And somewhere in a cell 2 hours away, I know he's smiling. Sometimes I think about that first morning. The father and son arriving at the diner, the fear in people's eyes, the silence that followed them everywhere. I think about the teenagers laughing, about Anthony's shame, about the anger that made me speak up. Grace felt gratitude for that moment. It changed everything. I think about Vince's hard eyes softening, about Anthony's first trembling step, about a community learning to choose love over fear. It all seems like a lifetime ago, but it's only been 18 months. 6 months later. The morning sun warms my face as I unlock the diner door. It's early, 5:30, but I love these quiet moments before the rush begins. The diner looks different now. Photos cover the walls. Anthony's journey from wheelchair to walking. Vince's letters framed in simple black frames. Pictures of the walkathon, of smiling faces, of healing. I start the coffee. The familiar smell fills the air. Tom arrives next. Then Maria, our new waitress. She's young, eager, reminds me of myself 2 years ago. Morning, Grace, Tom says. He's smiling. He smiles a lot these days. Morning, I say. Business is good, better than good. People come from all over now, not just for the food, for the story, for the hope. Grace felt blessed. This was more than she dreamed. My mother sits at the counter most mornings now. She's stronger, healthier. The stress is gone, the fear is gone. She greets regulars, shares wisdom, makes people feel welcome. Baby, you need to eat, she says when she arrives. She brought muffins from home. Yes, Mama, I say. Some things never change. I'm grateful for that. The foundation office is next door now. We expanded 6 months ago, hired 2 full-time therapists, 1 part-time coordinator. We help 12 families currently, more waiting to start. I spend my afternoons there, after the lunch rush, helping families navigate insurance, finding resources, listening to stories. Every story reminds me of Anthony, of what's possible when people don't give up. A mother cries in my office today. Her daughter was in a car accident. Doctors say she might never walk. I don't know what to do, the mother says. I hold her hand. You love her. You fight for her. That's what you do. But what if it doesn't work, she asks. Then you'll know you tried everything, I say. But I believe it will work. I've seen miracles. Her eyes found mine. Hope flickered there. I tell her about Anthony, show her the photos. She listens, really listens. You think my daughter could do that? She asks. I know she can, I say. She leaves with paperwork, with phone numbers, with hope. That's what we give people here, hope. Grace's chest tightened. This work mattered more than anything. Anthony calls every Sunday. He's doing well at school, made friends, joined an ensemble. His compositions are getting attention. I'm performing next month, he says during today's call. Will you come? Of course, I say. Your mum and I both will. He laughs. That's what he calls my mother now. Mum. She loves it. How's Dad? He asks. He always asks. Good, I say. I'm seeing him Thursday. Want me to tell him anything? Tell him I'm writing a piece about him, Anthony says. His voice is soft. About redemption. About second chances. He'll love that, I say. I hope so, Anthony says. We talk for an hour. About school, about music, about life. He sounds happy. Really happy. Something shifted in his voice over these months. Confidence replaced uncertainty. I'm proud of you, I say, before we hang up. I'm proud of us, he says. All of us. Thursday comes. I drive 2 hours to the facility. I've made this drive so many times now. I know every turn, every landmark. Vince looks better each time I see him. Healthier, more peaceful. He's gained weight. The darkness is gone from his eyes. Grace, he says when he sits down. He picks up the phone. You're early. Traffic was light, I say. We talk about Anthony, about the foundation, about the letters he's still writing. He's written 43 now. We've published some in a small book. All proceeds go to the foundation. People are buying it, I say. Your words are helping people. Good, he says. That's good. His voice was quiet, humble. I got approved for early release consideration, he says. Might be out in 3 years instead of 10. Grace's breath caught. Joy flooded through her. That's wonderful, I say. It's because of the cooperation, he says, and good behavior, and the program I'm running here. Program, I ask. Teaching inmates about redemption, he says, about choosing different paths. 20 guys meet twice a week. We talk, we study, we learn. That's amazing, I say. It's the least I can do, he says. After everything. He looks at me, really looks at me. You changed my life, Grace, you know that? We changed each other's lives, I say. Maybe, he says, but you started it. You stood up when no one else would. Something shifted in his expression, gratitude deeper than words. When I get out, he says, I want to work at the foundation, if you'll have me. Of course I'll have you, I say. We'll need you, he smiles. 3 more years. I can do 3 more years. You can do anything, I say. That evening I drive home. The sun is setting, orange and pink across the sky, just like that first evening after I defended Anthony. But everything is different now. Better, brighter. I stop at the grocery store, pick up ingredients for dinner. My mother wants spaghetti, her favorite. At home I cook. She sits at the kitchen table, talking about her day, about the people she met at the diner, about Sister Patricia's new hat. That woman, my mother says, she wore a hat with a whole garden on it. Flowers, birds, everything. I laugh. Sounds like Sister Patricia. She asked about you, my mother says. Wanted to know if you're eating enough. I'm eating fine, I say. That's what I told her, my mother says. But she's going to bring you a casserole anyway. Grace felt warmth spread through her chest. Community meant everything. We eat together. The TV plays in the background. But we're not really watching. We're just being together. That's enough. You happy, baby? My mother asks. Yes, Mama, I say. I really am. Good, she says. That's all I ever wanted for you. Her eyes found mine. Love filled them completely. You done something special, she says. Changed lives, saved people. That's a gift. I just did what felt right, I say. That's the gift, she says. Knowing what's right and doing it anyway. Sunday morning arrives. I wake early. The house is quiet, peaceful. I make coffee, sit on the porch, watch the sunrise. This has become my ritual, this quiet time, this moment of gratitude. I think about everyone who helped make this possible. Tom, Logan, Sister Patricia, my mother, Anthony, Vince, even the people who opposed us. They made us stronger. Grace's breath caught. Everything led to this moment. Church starts at 9. My mother and I drive together. The parking lot is full. We're late, but that's okay. Sister Patricia sees us, waves. Her hat today has ribbons and pearls. She hugs us both. Grace Miller, she says, the angel of our town. Stop, I say, embarrassed. It's true, she says. You showed us what faith looks like, what love can do. The service is beautiful. The sermon is about forgiveness, about second chances. Pastor Williams mentions Vince's story, how redemption is always possible. If Vince Moretti can change, the pastor says, then anyone can. That's the promise of grace. People turn to look at me, smiling, nodding. I feel their love, their support. Something shifted in the room. Unity replaced division. After church, people gather in the fellowship hall. There's food, always food. I help serve. My mother sits with friends, laughing, sharing stories. Logan is here with his family. He's different now, kinder, more thoughtful. He volunteers every weekend at the foundation. Grace, he says, can I talk to you? Of course, I say. We step outside. He's nervous. His hands fidget. I'm applying to physical therapy school, he says, because of you, because of what you showed me. Grace felt tears threaten. This was legacy. That's wonderful, I say. I want to help people like you helped Anthony, he says. Like you helped me. You're going to be amazing, I say. He hugs me, quick and awkward, then runs back inside. Youth and hope personified. That afternoon, the diner is packed. Families fill every booth. The jukebox plays oldies. Children laugh. The smell of burgers and coffee fills the air. I work the floor with Maria, taking orders, pouring drinks, smiling at everyone. A new family walks in. The mother pushes a wheelchair. A young boy sits in it, maybe 10 years old. His legs are thin, unused. They look scared, uncertain, like they don't belong. I walk over, smile. "Welcome to Marina's Diner. First time here." The mother nods. "We heard about this place, about the foundation." "You heard right," I say. I kneel beside the boy. "What's your name?" "Marcus," he says quietly. "Hi, Marcus," I say. "I'm Grace, and I know someone who's going to want to meet you." I pull out my phone. Text Anthony. He responds immediately. "Call me." I video call him. Show Marcus the screen. "Marcus, this is Anthony. He used to use a wheelchair too." Anthony waves. "Hey, Marcus, you like video games?" Marcus's face lights up. "Yeah." They talk for 10 minutes. About games, about school, about hope. Marcus laughs. Really laughs. His mother cries quietly. Grace's eyes found the mother's. Understanding passed between them. "There's hope," I whisper to her. "Real hope." She nods. Can't speak. Just nods. I give her information about the foundation, about the therapists, about the financial aid. She holds the papers like they're precious. "Thank you," she finally says. "Thank you so much." "Thank you for coming," I say. "You're family now." Evening falls. The diner closes. I help Tom clean up. "My mother has already gone home. Maria left an hour ago." "Good day," Tom says. "Great day," I say. He looks at the photos on the wall, at Vince's letters, at the story we've created. "You know," he says, "when you first started helping them, I thought you were crazy." "I know," I say. "I was wrong," he says. "You weren't crazy. You were brave." His voice was thick with emotion. "You changed this whole town," he says. "Made us better, made us remember what matters." "We all did it together," I say. "Maybe," he says. "But you started it, don't forget that." I lock up, drive home. The streets are quiet, peaceful. I pass the Moretti house. It's dark now, empty, but not for long. Vince will be home someday, and we'll be ready. At home, my mother is asleep on the couch. I cover her with a blanket, kiss her forehead. She stirs slightly, smiles without waking. Grace felt love overwhelm her. This woman gave her everything. I sit at the kitchen table, open my laptop, check the foundation's email. 3 new applications, 2 thank you notes, 1 donation. The thank you notes make me cry. They always do. "You saved my son's life. You gave us hope when we had none." Simple words, powerful truth. I respond to each one. Personal messages, real connections. This is what it's all about. People helping people, love multiplying. Before bed, I stand at my window, look at the stars. They're bright tonight, clear. I think about the journey, about where we started, about where we are now. 18 months ago, I was just a waitress, tired, struggling, taking care of my sick mother, barely surviving. Now I run a foundation, touch lives, make a difference, found purpose. But more than that, I found family. In Vince, in Anthony, in my mother, in this community, in strangers who became friends. Grace's chest tightened. Gratitude filled every space. I think about Vince in his cell, writing letters, teaching inmates, becoming the man he always should have been. I think about Anthony at school, creating music, inspiring others, walking strong and free. I think about all the families we've helped, all the children learning to walk again, all the hope we've planted. This is what matters. This is what life is about. Not money, not fame, not power. Just love, just kindness, just showing up for each other. My phone buzzes. A text from Anthony. "Thank you for today, for connecting me with Marcus, for everything." "I love you," I text back. "Love you too. So proud of you." Another text. This one from the facility, from Agent Morrison. "Vince asked me to tell you good night, and that he's grateful for you. Every single day." I smile. Type back. "Tell him good night, and that we're all waiting for him." I crawl into bed. The sheets are cool, clean, comfortable. My mother's breathing is steady in the next room. The house is quiet, safe. Grace felt peace settle deep in her bones. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, new families to help, new stories to hear, new lives to touch. But tonight, there's only this: contentment, gratitude, joy. I close my eyes, think about the diner sign. Kindness can heal what power never could. We proved it. We really did. I think about Vince's letter, the one I read today. Love wins. Always. He's right. Love won. Love will keep winning. As long as people choose it. As long as people like us keep showing up, keep trying, keep believing. The darkness tried to win. Fear tried to win. Hate tried to win. But love was stronger. Love always is. I whisper a prayer. Thank you, God, for all of it. The pain, the struggle, the triumph. Every moment led us here. My mother's voice echoes in my mind. Stand up for what's right, Grace, even when it's hard. I did, Mama. We all did. And look what happened. Look what we built. Look what love created. Tomorrow, I'll wake up, make coffee, go to the diner, help more families, live this beautiful life. But tonight I rest. Tonight I'm simply grateful. Grace smiled. Everything was finally at peace. The end.